What is going on, guys? Here, back with another rebuild here on Madden 23, and today we're going to be doing a fantasy draft rebuild where the AI will be doing the draft for us, which we've done a few of those in the past, but on top of that, we can only have rookies, whether that be from real life or the CPU class. So if they end up drafting like Lamar Jackson and, Nick Chubb and, DK Metcalf, all these guys, we have to trade them. So if they're not a rookie, they're gone. And I'm talking about just real-life rookies for this upcoming season. Aiden Hutchinson and those guys don't count. So we could get really screwed, or we could get really lucky. If we get screwed, we might still be able to get some value. We can maybe trade for rookies or draft picks. But I am, if I find a player I want, going to be changing their dev to the expected dev. So if I want Jalen Carter, I'm going to assume he's a superstar minimum. If I want Bijan Robinson, I'm going to assume he's a superstar minimum, maybe X Factor, and so on and so forth. So, that'll be something that could take a little bit more time as well. I'm not going to be changing every single dev that I believe is going to be, a different dev, because there are a lot of rookies. None of these classes will have that. And obviously the real-life ratings have come out last week. Well, technically this week, but it's Sunday, so is this the end of the week? Is it the beginning of the week? You guys, what do you guys think? That's a good question. While you're down there leaving a like and subscribing, wink, wink, is Sunday the end of the week or the beginning of the week? I think you're an absolute lunatic if you think Sunday is the beginning of the week, because why would the beginning of the week be on the weekend? The weekend, not the week beginning, weekend. Okay, let's draft. We got pick 4 in the drafts. Okay, who's at quarterback? Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. You gotta take one of them, right? Please. So Jalen Hurts is a superstar. Tell me, Lamar Jackson's obviously an X Factor. What about Herbert? Okay, so Lamar Jackson should be the one that's taken here, which means he should have a ton of value. As long as you're not taking guys like Russell Wilson here or, Dak Prescott because he's an 81 overall X Factor, that's all I can ask for. We're going to skip to the end of the draft, and, we're going to have to make some trades. Let's get going. All right, here it is. Let's find out how many, if any, rookies we got, and if they did indeed take Lamar Jackson, they did, which is a win. No one on the offensive line. This is actually, looking at this from a, normal standpoint, this is actually a pretty good team. The tight end's a little iffy, but the O-line is very solid. You have a great quarterback, young, and good running back and quarterback situation. Wide receivers are solid, pretty young, and good development. It would appear, though, we didn't land any. And, even the defense, it's not great, but it's not the worst. And obviously, because we know that the 3-4 sucks, we're obviously going to be going into a 4-3. Once again, if we want these players, we will have to be upping their dev, because otherwise it would just be so easy. I would just be able to trade. You might as well just make it where... I'm trying to think of what scheme here to use. But you might as well make it where I just drafted, right? I just drafted who I wanted and just changed the dev. It's basically the same thing at that point, but let's see. Let's find out. Let's see if there's any teams that actually have... Oh, yeah, I forgot it's fantasy. You're not going to see that. I'm actually curious to see if we're going to find any trade partner, to be honest. But obviously Lamar Jackson is going to be the guy that we are going to be getting the most out of. So I should be aiming for a Jalen Carter, maybe even a Bryce Young if that's the route I want to go. I kind of want a strong arm quarterback if we can. A lot of this might be predicated on teams having multiple real life rookies as well. So Bryce Young's a 76 here. He's obviously 74 in the game itself. I think that is who I would be going for, is a guy like Bryce Young. So hopefully there's other rookies on this team that I can steal. Skoronski is one of them. And sadly, I guess DJ Turner, but that's really isn't going to be the case. Damn, dude. Lamar Jackson needs to go for a lot, but I will say I feel like Bryce Young would probably be... He's at least star in the game. I'm going to go on a limb and say he's going to be superstar, though. So we're going to move him to superstar, and we're going to move Skoronski to star development trait. And I think we're going to be making the trade for one of these guys. And by one of them, I mean both of them, because either I grab the 2 or I grab 2 first-round picks, which I actually don't even know if the Rams have any first-round picks. They do not, so... Maybe we don't trade Lamar then for this. Let's start off with like Shaq Mason. It's not going to happen because Bryce is a superstar. Although, not actually that bad. A third-round pick with Shaq Mason. This is going to get really tedious and really, like, disorganized. So, I apologize in advance. But this could maybe do it. Surprisingly enough, Bryce Young, with pretty high dev, is now ours. Fair enough. Ooh, we got some names. Quentin Johnston, Devon Witherspoon, or Devon Witherspoon, and Will Anderson, all on the same team. Don't know if Witherspoon's going to be a superstar, but honestly, just for the added challenge, I'm just going to make him superstar anyways. And I'm also going to change his name to Witherspoon, because that's like the only way to do it, I think. Wither, S-Q-U, there's no U in there. S-Q, that's the best way to do it, in my opinion, all right? And then Quentin, I think, will be pretty safely a star development trait. And apparently Chris Godwin is good enough for all three of these guys. Maybe this isn't quite the challenge I thought it was going to be. This one costed a little bit more, but both of our tackles and Fletcher Cox for pick 13, Felix Anudike Uzama, and, of course, Bijan Robinson, who is 4 overalls higher than that in the next game. But once again, that's who we traded for. I'm not going to boost his ratings just to boost him. I don't want it to be that easy, but, like, they literally have 2 of the rookies from the real-life class here. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do? And they have Brizzy. They actually have a lot of the rookies, in fairness. They have Tyreek Stevenson, Foskey, Brizzy, Kentrell Clark, Emmanuel Forbes. They have a lot of names here. If they have a lineman, Bradford is one of them. Overshown. I was thinking about grabbing a lineman, but I don't think that's very smart. I think Brazil is the best bet to grab with those wide receivers. We trade Shaquille Barron and Breece Hall for the 3. The Packers have Jalen Carter, Paris Johnson, Jack Campbell. I think those are the 3 we're going to go for. Simply put, I'm going to put Paris Johnson as a superstar and Jalen Carter as an X Factor, just in theory, because so far it really hasn't been that much of a challenge to make it harder on these trades. I'm so confused. Like, what is going on here? Is the game just, like, broken? Like, why are these players worth, like, what? Huh? What? Why are these players going for the... Oh, maybe I'm changing the... I might have to redo this whole thing. Maybe because I'm changing their dev before the week advances, their value isn't going up. I might have to test that. We may have to test that. One way or another, I'm mad. That's all I can say. I mean, it really doesn't seem to be that different, to be honest. I traded Will Anderson off for like a nothing. Yeah, I mean, I advanced the week, and they're still going for nothing. This video is in shambles. I'm going to trade Lamar Jackson off for whatever team has the most first-round picks. But, yeah, I'm not really sure why their value is so low. I mean, in my opinion, I think that's all fantastic. The Dolphins draft picks, I don't think you're going to get much more than that. And they take it. Fair enough. But I will say the team is still looking pretty rough. We're going to be trading with the Niners, who have Broderick Jones, Zach Evans, who will be a backup, and then Jartavius Martin. I'm going to keep Martin as a normal because it seems like it doesn't matter what the dev is. The value is just like immense. But Broderick Jones will need to be changed in dev because he is definitely going to be hidden. But I now have to enact my own rules. What the hell did that even happen? I didn't even know you could click that. I'm going to have to trade player for player. And if I want 3 players, I have to trade 3 players. I have to enact all these rules because for some reason the value is just like insane. We're getting like billions of players here. All right, I wanted a tight end. Tight ends have that. We're going to be taking Gonzalez, Darnell Washington, and Antonio Johnson. I'm going to be keeping Darnell Washington at normal, and I think I'm going to be boosting Gonzalez to star. Even though, once again, you could argue superstar, but at this point, we've kind of seen... I've been boosting the devs because I wanted it to be harder to trade for them, but turns out EA just doesn't know what they're doing. Who would have thought? There is no trade that we cannot have, apparently. We're going to be trading for Freeland, Simpson, and Nolan Smith. And I'm going to keep them all normal just because there's a debate that they could all be normal. But more importantly, once again, trying to build some sort of challenge for ourselves here is The trades have really not been that hard to complete. Like, I'm not really sure what we're doing at this point. Another trade. Literally could have just done, I draft whoever the hell I want, because I really didn't think this was going to be the case. I thought that was going to be where, like, if I wanted some of the best players, superstar X Factors, it was going to cost a lot of players, and we were going to be, like, we'd have, like, 18 rookies. Maybe more than that, but they would all be, like, really bad. And that's just not the way it's gone, like, at all. Also, apparently we already had Josh Downs. I don't think I traded for him, so we're actually kind of cooking. Humphrey, no boom, whatever, the trade. I mean, it's kind of easy. I don't know. But because a lot of these guys are normal, a lot of them will probably need to be replaced. I put Nolan Smith at right out. I changed his ratings a little bit to reflect the actual ratings. And yeah, his man and zone aren't great. Either is his block shed, but you know what? I need an outside linebacker more than I need an edge, so that's the route we're going until that's the opposite of the truth. All right, I actually haven't looked at the roster since, really the start. We tried to make it as hard as possible. That's what she said, and this is what we ended up with. I mean, it's not the best, but, it could have been so much worse if EA actually had proper trade logic, but you know what? The team still is not perfect. We might need a new right guard, might need a new center, might need a new tight end. We might need a new linebacker or two, might need both new safeties, might need a new right end. But overall, this is our squad. We'll see how many years it takes to win with it, if ever, because we are only a 75 overall. But yeah, it wasn't quite what I wanted. I was hoping for a little bit more of a challenge in the trading, but at the same time, we kind of evened it out slightly by trading, Marlon Humphrey for kind of low value, if you will. And Lamar could have went for even more than we did, and that was 3 firsts. So I don't know if we have anybody who re-signed, but we have 67 mil to do so, if that is the case. I don't know if Chad Ryland actually is a real-life rookie or not, but if he is, I guess we keep him around. But yeah, no one really to re-sign, and the team is playing better than I expected, so I don't know. This rebuild was maybe easier than I thought. All right, here it is, the playoffs, and we're in them at 11-6. We do not win the division, but we get to get revenge on the team that did win the division right away. Perhaps. Obviously not guaranteed, but perhaps. Not the playoff schedule. That's the wrong one. Regular season, 11-6 for a team that is only going to get better. So, yeah, this is real challenging, let me tell you that much. But let's take a look at the season, see how the team played. Bryce Young, I did keep the Jaguars' offensive scheme, just changed the defense because obviously we moved to a 4-3. Bijan, decent. Wow. Darnell Washington went off. That could be a dev up. Quentin did pretty well. Addison was decent. JSN was all right. Blocking, very good for Madden terms. It's like basically allowing like 0 to 2 sacks in the whole season in real life. Will Anderson killed it. Everyone else, Brzee was all right, but everyone else pretty lackluster. Interceptions, they're okay. And then kicking, terrible. But Lamar Jackson, of course, does get 3rd for MVP, which, who would have thought? 8-9 MVP win for Lawrence, which is definitely interesting. McCaffrey wins an award. Quentin Johnson, Rookie of the Year. And Will Anderson with Rookie of the Year on the defensive side of the ball. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that we're actually where we are because you can see this Texans team, same overall, same record as us. They just probably had like an extra, I don't know, freaking whatever, an extra, division game against us, whatever. But we're 7 overalls lower than them. And yet here we are competing for the divisional round, basically. Whoever wins this one gets to that round. Of course, we're winning by 3 right now. It's not a crazy lead, but now it's 10-0. And this defense is putting on a perfect shutout. I was about to say, it's been a while since I've seen that in a Madden sim, but that is still an amazing performance. Bryce Young, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It is what it is. Bijan Robinson, 99. Pretty tame numbers, to be honest. Quentin Johnson, pretty good stuff. But at least we're not turning the ball over, which is probably where we are. Some decent sacks, actually, for the D-line. No interceptions, and then the kicker missed 1 of 2. But it looked like it said blocked. One of them might have been blocked. We now move on to the divisional round, which features the Kansas City Chiefs, which, even though it's a fantasy, it may be a GG. Here we go. 84 overall in fairness, so not as high as the Texans. 7-0. Defense has been kind of killer, though. 7-3, still 7-3, 14-3, and they get a nice field goal before half, but it's not a touchdown. Come on, offense. Giving up field goals. The offense is the one selling right now. One touchdown would do it. Not going to happen there. Huge touchdown. Up 4, and we're headed to the championship round year 1. Wow. Okay, once again, this is a team that's only going to get better. Deshaun Watson, 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. The run game was non-existent. What was our pass game? It was basically non-existent. It was a defensive battle, and I got to tell you, Will Anderson is doing some fierce work out here. Their kicker missed a field goal on top of it, and the turnover force, I mean, our offense is pretty mid, but this defense is next level at the moment. Let's go to the championship round. Let's see it. See who we're going against. The 86 overall Miami Dolphins, which is, right up there with that Texans team. Lamar Jackson, Joey Bosa, and Kyle Pitts. Some pretty good front page names there. All right, going to the end of the game, 7-0. It's 14. Okay, the offense is waking up. 21-0. 28-0. 28-7. There's still a chance, in fairness, but it's not looking good for them. We are headed to the Super Bowl year 1 of a quote-unquote rookie fantasy draft team that just shouldn't be this good. Maybe year 2 or 3, but year 1 on par for a Super Bowl victory here. Oh, my. But looking at the numbers, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions to Lamar Jackson, 94 yards with 1 touchdown. So pretty tame numbers, I suppose, but this team, specifically on defense, obviously the offense finally woke up, but defense has been insane. All right, let's take a look. It's the Vikings. Could they really go 0-5? 0-5, could they? They're overall 84 overall. Let's take a look at the numbers. Let's see what the playoffs at. Here we are, but meant to look at their team or the full roster. They put up some points. They've given up a little bit of points, but they have also put up a lot of points. But as well as let's take a look at the potential dev ups we may have had. Bryce Young was already superstar. Quentin Johnson must have went up in dev because he already was hidden, so he wouldn't re-hidden. And then Darnell Washington is a star dev, but that is still pretty mid after the season he had. 76 overall is, it's usable. It's usable, but let's take a look at the defense. Any dev ups there? Will Anderson surprisingly doesn't go up in dev. Witherspoon, was he already superstar? It might have been like I put him at superstar because I wanted a challenge, and wasn't much of a challenge. It just ended up making him good. And then everyone else, pretty basic stuff. No real dev ups at some of the positions we were talking about maybe needing to replace. So other than tight end, there's still some question marks here, but the question mark that doesn't need to be asked is this team good? Because they are an 80 overall team in the Super Bowl. Here it is, going to the end of the game. Can we win a Super Bowl already? The Vikings come out swinging harder than any other team has so far in the playoffs against us. 13-7 now, 14-13 with that missed extra points, adding up. 21-16, maybe building up a little bit of a lead. Up by 8, now up by a lot more than 8. Numbers are hard, up by 8 again. Minnesota's going to tie it. They don't get the 2 points. That 1 extra point missed by the Vikings means everything as we have won the Super Bowl on a failed extra point and a failed 2-point conversion. Who said that kickers aren't more worthy than running backs payment-wise? Even though the image that people have been sharing for the last week or so is misleading anyways. But Bryce Young Company, even though the numbers are a little off on a lot of the players, is already a Super Bowl champion, rookie year. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did. And I guess the only thing left to do would be to try and win another one within the next 2 seasons. But I don't really know how you top that. A year 1 Super Bowl, I guess back-to-back, 3 in a row maybe. We'll see what happens. It was a special season, and we won a Super Bowl. Okay, so, I'm not really sure what kind of challenge there really is for a rebuild with these rookies when the devs aren't correct. And you can't really do anything about it. You can't go out in the main game, change the devs, import them, and then do a fantasy draft, and then it would be updated. You can't change devs because EA just like, they give you no control. If a player's injured in real life, can't touch them. Can't touch them. We're playing a video game and nothing matters, but you can't touch them. They're injured in real life. Your video game's screwed. You can't touch them, dude. You can't change devs. It's a nightmare. So you can't really do much about it with unofficial rosters. Maybe that's their plan all along, force you to use their rosters, but it's still really annoying. Bryce Young obviously outplayed Patrick Mahomes of all quarterbacks. Bijan was a little iffy. It was a little iffy, especially the last 2 games, but hey, all I care is that we made it and won it, and that's exactly what happened. The pass rush was pretty tame for once. Gonzalez with a pick, Edebo with a pick, or a Debo with a pick, and then Cameron Dicker, the loser of the game, as he missed the extra point, causing them to then go for 2 later to tie it up, and he couldn't get that either, and he single-handedly cost overtime. Minimum. So I actually didn't even notice that we have players that we actually need to sign. I don't know why they weren't on the list before, but Felix here, who, to be fair, didn't really have that great of a season, needs a contract. A 4-sack season, a 2-year 20 is pretty low, even if he isn't the guy for the future. 224? What's the tag? 19 mil, that is too much. We might try to get him back in free agency, but I don't know. Ringo, what are his ratings? To be fair, I mean, he is star development trade. I don't know how he even got to that, but probably worth the contract, especially since he's interested. So we're going to do a 7-year deal worth 24.5. What a steal. All right, 70 mil. We can sign real-life rookie. They let Marlon Humphrey go. And Diggs is gone. Nobody likes Diggs in game for some reason. I don't know what it is. J.C. Jackson. The corners must be like flying because there's like a billion of them. But the only players we can go for are rookies from this last class, which I don't know if we're going to find a kicker. I ended up going... Moody's actually a free agent, even though he's 92 kick power. I'm going to have to grab him, I think. We let go of our kicker because our kicker was really bad. A 2-year 7? Why not? Why not? And we may lose Felix here, which, I mean, good thing we do have, pretty good draft picks, but, I mean, still, like, back off. He's kind of our player. There we go. So the highest offer, will it be enough? I don't know. But that appears to probably be it as far as who we're going to sign. I mean, you got some tight ends, but they're not even as good as Darnell Washington, let alone better than him. We get the kicker, but surprisingly... Felix is still here. This gotta mean that we're not going to get him. Wow. Interesting. A 2-year 20 versus re-signing with a team that just won a Super Bowl for a 2-year 28. Way to go, EA. You guys are very good at making video games. So we have pick 5. I'm actually kind of debating on trading up because there is a decent edge rusher, and he's kind of like my only option. Please, Jets. They didn't take him. Woo-hoo. All right. He's kind of my only option, so I probably should have traded up for him, but he was a round 1, not a top 5, so I was hoping he would have been there by, the 4 to 6 range, still be there. He is B.J. Kitchens, 6'4", 4.64, so he's pretty elite speed and excel with an A finesse, B block shed. He's not perfect, but losing Felix, we have no choice. We have literally no choice. And he is hidden. He's actually pretty fast as well. He's the starter, plug and play. We're going to move down to 21 to gain a second and a fourth, which is actually pretty good. I mean, it is 12, so it's not like we're, getting, we're not like scamming them, but it's a decent little trade, and obviously I'll take it. Don't really know what I need at this point. So I might actually have to look, but we definitely need linemen. I don't know if we need safeties. Kendricks was not as good as I thought he was going to be. I scouted him fuller. No, I didn't actually. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe the other guy already went. But safety, if it's a need, there are some really good safeties, it looks like, in this class. Might go with Lowell or something. But yeah, as far as what I want to go for, it probably will be, assuming I need any sort of corner, that 6'4" corner, because 6'4" corners are just like busted in the game. They're always good. I really don't need a corner. Safety is absolutely need. I might grab whatever the best available safety is here. Linebacker wouldn't hurt, but do we really need one? I don't know. O-line definitely need one. I don't know why Skronsky's at center, but all right, let's draft some DBs. Now I just want to take Newton and play him at safety because he's got a B zone. What about Hines? He's a 1 to 2. A to C zone, which, I mean, he's solid speed, solid excel. He could be bad. Kyrie Kendricks, decent athleticism. I don't know, dude. I could probably just wait for Lowell, maybe. How good was Lowell? 6'2", 22. Pretty fast-ish. I might trade down to the second round. I think there's a lot in the second round we can take. Although Kevin Westbrook looks pretty good, too. I'm going to take Kevin Westbrook. Why not? Hidden development trait. Looked like he was going to be a beast, and he was. We'll land one of those superstars that we like literally never have at the position. Next year's second isn't really going to do a whole lot for me. That was this year. I would definitely make the trade, but teams are reluctant because, well, most teams don't have 2 second-round picks this year anyways. I guess I'm still going to go with it. Baltimore, I mean, that's not a great trade, but it's something, I guess. Once again, we're trying to get into the second round, so accumulate some picks while trying to do that. 41 and then a third next year is not bad at all, making that trade. The only first-round pick we had was a center, which I suppose I might start, I wouldn't say might start doing soon because well, the Madden season's almost over, but I should probably be doing that more often just because you get that fifth-year option, and offensive linemen are pretty damn expensive. Pretty good linebacker, but I think I would probably do one linebacker, and maybe that would be Drummond. All the safeties are still here, so I don't know how I could, like, go with that, you know? So I don't know about that now. There's also a very fast wide receiver, but we really don't need a wide receiver. JSN was pretty good considering he was the number 3. This guard looks very good, and I don't think I need any more linemen after that center, so I'd probably just go for that guard and hope he's hidden, which if he is, then we're cooking. I honestly think I just take Newton because he's a really good player, and he'll just play somewhere. Please be hidden. He is, so I mean, that could be our free safety. Let's move down to 44, gain a 5th this and a 7th next year, which is, I mean, pretty mid, but, I mean, we're also not moving that crazy. Juan Russell was actually a pretty good-looking running back. Let's go to the Bills. I mean, I'll trade up if I absolutely have to. Once again, if you couldn't tell, this isn't really the most realistic style rebuild. If you couldn't tell that by now, I don't know what else to tell you. And all these safeties are still here. I don't know if that means they're crap or not, but I'm going to end up taking whoever's left of the group probably, so I'm just going to keep going. I do like Rudolph. Just don't need that wide receiver. Look at how fast he is. I mean, he's speedy. But let's keep moving. I mean, I have no reason to stick around. I'm going to have a lot of draft picks. Into the 3rd we go with that one. Obviously, we have tons of capital to trade up, so we're just going to be paying attention to, you know, where players go. So one of the safeties just went. If Hines went right there, I would go up and get Lowell. But so far, so good. Franklin's one of our guys, but Roper was one of my guys. He was actually 6'4". He's actually really solid, but once again, just don't need wide receiver. If I needed any of them, it would have probably been the slot. And now I have to make a decision because I don't want to trade down anymore. I kind of want to just land a player. So Hines or Lowell. I think Lowell was more athletic, right? Hines, 21 years old, not athletic at all. I'm just going to go with Lowell, I think. He's just, yeah, I mean, he's a little bit faster. Why not? And he's hidden, so that's a win. Holcomb went. I was actually probably going to grab him there if he was still around, but he isn't. Landry goes as well. I mean, those are all just backups anyways. We have our DTs set. Only real position would be edge, but we did draft one, and it would be more of a, like, could we get a better dev? Could we get lucky in that category? That's really about it. Any other players? Tight end wouldn't hurt. Rudolph's, I'm just going to grab him, dude. Why not? He's fast as hell. Oof. 99 speed, which, you know, that's all that matters, but normal dev, that was a bad pick. Now, the question is how many... Oh, we actually don't have any draft picks. We actually traded out a lot, and most of it was for next year, but let's start grabbing what we need. Who was the guard I wanted? Was it McQueen? McQueen does look pretty good. I'm going to grab McQueen. A lot of A's. Hidden development trade, super strong. Nice. We're set at offensive line. Straight up to the Chargers. I don't really care. Let's just do it. We do have a bunch of 4th-round picks this year, but, oh, okay, I guess it wasn't enough. It was a pretty close trade, though. Got to give us credit for being that close. Boom, 7th round next year. Real big addition there in that trade. But, yeah, we might make some crazy trades here. We might be making a lot, which, in the end, it probably still adds up to be positive. Drummond, 21 years old, 6'3", very athletic, hidden. And he is. What a win. 2 4s and a 5th this to move up to 73. The Titans actually really needed that. They had no 4th-round picks, no 6th-round pick. I mean, they're kind of thin on those draft picks, but that kind of helped them out a little bit with this pick. I suppose we're going to be taking it easily. We're going to take, players that are best available, and another hidden. We're kind of crushing it, though. I mean, some of these players, a lot of them probably won't matter, but hey, when you draft a hidden, you're not really going wrong, are you? We trade all of this for 83, moved down a little bit, and waited till one of the two linemen were remaining, so Blumberg is gone, which is that not the same name as the center we just let go as well? I don't really know, but Isaiah Blake's going to be the choice. It was just whoever is remaining, and another hidden high-strength guy, which is, a bit shocking at this rate, to be honest. Kind of an unfair trade, but at the same time, that third-round pick we gave them could legitimately be, a top draft pick. I don't know who owns that. It could actually be us, but yeah, there's no way the team would take that because they could literally end up doing that for one move, literally one spot. Probably would have to add at least a fifth at the very minimum. Don't know if I really need running back, but Morris Brown looks pretty decent as a power back. Another hidden! We'll take it. It probably doesn't even matter, but the hiddens are flying. Once again, they could all be star, but even if they are, that's still really good. And I might as well take the other lineman as well and then probably call it a draft. Maybe look for a special teamer or something. I don't know. Boom, 4th and a 5th next for 98, which once again is nowhere near a trade that they would accept. Unless it was the weakest class of all time, this one. And then next year's was insane. But yeah, Aaron Clinton, 6'5", 21 years old. Offensive lineman being hidden is, it doesn't really, doesn't get the people moving anymore, The strength we got on most of our rookies, though, that was kind of the surprising part. All the kickers suck, but Kerr was the best of the sucky. 93 kick power with a C accuracy. It is what it is. We've got options, I guess. And then this will probably be a fullback. All the fullbacks kind of suck. This was the best of them all. Had a pretty cool name as well. 85 strength. Not bad. All right, let's take a look at the... Oh, everyone was a 70. We actually did draft a lot of players, but 75 overall for the starting defensive end. 79 finesse, 74 block shed. Huge L on the pass rush moves, though. Bull rush with no finesse. I'm not really sure what we're getting at here, but let's take a look at that dev. Crap, is it a left end we need? I don't even know, to be honest. Superstar, which is actually pretty sick. Oh, yeah, I was about to look for the traits, which is actually pretty sick, but yeah. And then the center, we don't really care too much, but I'll take a quick look at the ratings. Semi-balanced, right? Kind of. Usually it's power block that most linemen suck at. And then we have Newton, who I suppose will be oh yeah, he is good at zone. Will be our new free safety. And then the other guy will be our new strong safety, even though he's probably short as hell. Most of those safeties were. What's his dev? Oh! Hell yeah, dude. We'll take that. I did not expect that. He was one of my last kind of options on my list. And I was like, you know what? The value's there. And oh, was it? It was definitely there. This is a very good draft class. And we don't even really need it because, well, we're already a Super Bowl champion at year one. But, hey, I'm not going to complain about drafting well. Oops, I am losing my mind here. He'll be our new strong safety, even if he is only normal or star dev, which, after seeing an X Factor feels like normal dev. I guess, I'm going to take a look at the center because I have a feeling he's superstar. I'm just saying, we might as well. It's probably going to be a shorter video anyways because it's only 3 seasons. Let's take a look at the dev. Okay, only star. Glad I drafted him in the first round. Sweet. Obviously, Rudolph was normal, but let's quick look at his ratings. Release. Yeah, 76 release with that speed. He's actually really good. You look at normal, you're like, oh, man, but looking at his catching traits, 87 spec, 79 catch, 80 deep route, 86 jumping's okay for a slot type. 99 speed, that's a really good player, obviously. McQueen, he's a lineman. I guess I'll take a look because he is actually a pretty good overall with that strength. Like we said, the power blocking's a little bit of a problem, but overall not bad. Don't know his dev, but it is what it is. Drummond. Should he start over Nolan, and then Nolan is a pass rusher, backup, because we don't really have good depth at that position anyways? It would make sense, right? Dev, star. Because, Nolan Smith is pretty bad at coverage, I got to be honest. He's not really the guy you would want starting. And then Morris Brown, 85 truck, 83 stiff. Very likely to be just star, but Might as well take a look. Why not? And he is star, but number 24 looking pretty. I really like the Jaguars uniforms, but I can't do a Jaguars franchise. They're way too set, especially with Trevor Lawrence. But that is going to be it from those guys. I guess we'll take a look at the 6'4 corner, I suppose. Why not? His name was like Favors. There he is. 74 overall. Hidden. 6'4. Kind of good. Believe it or not. Kind of good. Dev. Star. That corner we took that is now our free safety, he is a monster. Here we go for Season 3. Everyone is hidden development trait, which is a win. Addison should be the number 2, as JSN's more of a slower slot type guy, if you will. Darnell Washington sticks it out as the tight end, and then defense, only one non-hidden remains, and that's Trenton Simpson. Obviously, some backup safeties, which they'll get some playtime, but they're not actually starters. Will Anderson was amazing. Carter would love to see more from. And then Kitchens, if he's a Rookie of the Year type, maybe he's an X Factor. I don't even know. But, let's go on. I mean, if year 1 is a Super Bowl win, we should at least make the playoffs in year 2. Witherspoon, 5-year, 43. Paris John. Okay, so we got a lot of players. Actually, we don't have a lot of players to re-sign, but we have a lot of money. Witherspoon obviously is the future at this position. So, just going to go with a 7-year, 7 years, 73.5. Paris Johnson, not really asking for that much when you consider the fact that he's a superstar development trade lineman. 7, really? The length, as in it's too high? All right, this season has been a little bit of a sell, and we do make the playoffs, but barely. We were a 7-3 team, finished 10-7. Not a very good finish to the season. You can see really good, and then just loss after loss. Finished out the last 4 games decently, but overall, a little bit of an L, to be honest. But let's just take a look at the numbers. Bryce Young, last time I checked, he was 26 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, and it was week 12. How bad was he playing? Robinson was better than last year. Quentin Johnson was better. I didn't change the schemes at all. I kept them all the same. Defensively, I do know was better than last season. 16.5 for Anderson, 15 for Kitchens, which is insane. Carter 9.5, Brazee with 9 interceptions, a little low in fairness. Kicker similar to last year, but a higher quantity of kicks made. Rudolph with a kick return touchdown. We love to see it. Yearly awards, MVP goes to Rustler Wilson, who's probably a 12 overall by now. Rookie of the Year for Kitchens. I mean, he'd probably be superstar X Factor just off the sacks alone, but with the award win, he should be guaranteed. But the playoffs, let's see if we can win back-to-back. I mean, it was, like I said, a pretty shaky end of the season. I think winning the Super Bowl year 1 and still making the playoffs this year, even though we were kind of struggling. Ooh, Travis Landry must have been good. He was on my list. I just didn't take him. I think we're just going to rock with these playbooks for this and the final season, which would be next season, no matter what happens here. All right, going to the end of the game. 0 all. Still 0 all. Still 0 all, 3-0. This is kind of how our first season's playoffs went as well, but this is kind of going the opposite of positive for us. 10-0, 10-7 now. Defense is keeping it live. Just the offense sucks. And down by 3, I don't know what we're going to do here. 3rd and 9. They don't convert. It's 4th and 1. I'm coming into the game because they are going to go for it if I do not punt it, if I'm not out here, and I do not want that to happen. With 2 minutes left, the team only needs 3. Unless Rudolph returns this for the touchdown right here, which... Oh, we were actually kind of close to getting out there. I just didn't want to lose too many yards trying to go for it, but I probably should have went for it. And even though I don't want to be the reason why they win, I do kind of want to use the youngsters, right? Which, the way I worded that was pretty weird. I do not like these abilities. Underneath, misses the throw. I know he's under pressure, but really? How is this a fair ability? So stupid. The tight end, Bryce Young, so bad. I get him dropping back there. This playbook sucks as well. I don't like this Jaguars playbook. But he can't hit a throw. I mean, he can't hit a throw. And even that throw is pretty bad. I'd honestly prefer to let him do the work, even though he's clearly not doing the work because he's struggling. Clock is moving. The big tight end. Darnell Washington burying a player. Let's call a timeout. Let's see what the AI would want to do with this from the 37-yard line. They should be pretty fine on their own, but knowing EA is going to be about a 40-second play. 6 seconds. Another set. Oh, huge play for 30, and they score the touchdown. We're moving out of the divisional round. Very ugly game, but you know what? A win's a win, baby. All right, Anthony Richardson, not very good. Bryce, not much better, but I guess technically better. Robinson was pretty good. Receiving was pretty tame. Alec Pierce was like the best out of all the players. Kitchens, I mean, he's making us feel like Will Anderson, who, like Rookie of the Year, killed it. Absolutely killed it, and we'll be moving on to the divisional round. The Chiefs, this is like deja vu out here. 86 overall for them, 85 for us. All right, going to the end of the game, 0-0, still 0-0, 7-0, a little bit better. This is the kind of game that, we've been seeing over the playoffs the last 2 seasons. Defense locking up, offense just kind of barely sputting along a little bit. 21-0, 21-7, 24-7, and 31-7. That's a much better game than we've had. The snow, apparently too much. Bryce Young, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, just under 300 yards. Definitely outplayed them. What else do we have? Robinson, 3.9 with 2 touchdowns. 142 yards with a touchdown. What else do we have? 2 sacks for Will Anderson, 1.5 for Carter. Interception, 0, and then the kick missed. To the championship round. And it's the Bills, another blizzard. Last time it paid off. Buffalo, New York, though. I don't know. We're still going to do it, though. As why the hell not? It's more cool looking anyways. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can win back-to-back or not. Another snowy game. It worked out in our favor last time. Let's see if it happens this time. Washington or the Falcons on the other side. The Falcons scheme is pretty good. So, I mean, to be fair, Commander's scheme has been pretty good lately, too, in Sim. Really good start. The defense forcing a turnover, scoring a touchdown. 7-6, 14-6. Still 14-6. Still 14-6. I mean, it's an okay start. Team is kind of holding up. 14-12. Come on, offense. There you go, up by 9, and that's going to be the win. We're back to the Super Bowl. This be what I'm talking about. Looking at Bryce Young, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Herbert was better for yards, but no touchdowns. Didn't throw a pick either, though. They only had 1 touchdown on offense, which is, I mean, some would argue that's why they lost. 5 touchdowns. Did they just have, like, every touchdown on defense or something? Because it was a pretty close game, right? Well, kind of. Will Anderson and Kitchens. Wow. 6 sacks combined. Right with 4 missed field goals. The snow definitely helped. I personally would say. I'm not an expert, but I'd say so. I guess we'll answer our playoff blizzard. In all my years of playing of football, I don't believe I have spoken like this. It's nothing to do with that. Yeah, I mean, sure, it was a little snowy. You got it. You're not wrong. With the Falcons winning, not really the biggest surprise I've seen. Let's see if we got any dev-ups. Kitchen should be a superstar X Factor, but you just never know. Anyone else? Maybe Quentin? No, not Quentin either. O-line didn't go up. Kitchens didn't go up. Witherspoon's an X Factor now, which is a nice dev up. No dev up for Trenton Simpson. But the biggest one, though, obviously, is no dev up for Kitchens, who had like an insane rookie year. I mean, that was a really good year, and yet they don't really seem to care. Oh, well, but let's go to the Super Bowl and see if we can win back-to-back. All right, here we go. To the end of the game, starting off 7-0, 7-3, 10-3. Defense is doing what it does, but it's not as clean as before. 17-10, 17-13. I got to say, though, this defense is pretty damn elite. 2020, what a year. One of the worst years in history. And this is going to be an overtime game. They're going to kick the field goal. If we score a touchdown, we win. 4th and 1. Do I really want to be a part of this? Bijan Robinson. They are up. You can't lie. They are absolutely up here. And easily going to get it. And we fumble. That's my fault, but whew, good recover. All right, and I kind of just quick-simmed. I completely forgot that we were playing it like this, but we lose the Super Bowl 27-30. That rush meant nothing as the team just could not move the ball after that, and we will not be winning the back-to-back. It looked like destiny, and it absolutely wasn't. Bryce Young was actually pretty decent, but once again, that incompletion percentage, I mean, there's not super better, but a little bit better. Bijan, his worst game. Must have just got locked up in the pass game. No pass rush for once either. We had 2 interceptions with 0 turnovers and lost. It was a hell of a season, but ultimately, when it came down to it, the Falcons were better. I also just never finished the contract with Paris Johnson. That should do it, right? This game sucks. It really sucks. Franchise tag 13 mil. Sweet. Nolan Smith, he's a good backup, and we don't need money yet. So even though we should be trying to push all the money to the future each season, we don't need it yet. And you can see that we really have no one else to resign. So we're just going to deal with that and pay Paris Johnson a boatload next season. But it is what it is. The game's crap, so I got to do what I got to do. He wanted a 5. I guess to be fair, maybe it wasn't crap. The money actually might have fallen behind there. I don't know, but I still think it's crap. I'm just going to go out on a limb, and, the history's taught me that I'm probably in the right with that statement. Of course, some pretty good free agents here, but once again, unless they are a rookie from this latest class, we cannot sign them, and it would appear that that is going to be all it's filled with in free agency. All right, there's some solid-looking players here that very well could be generational. We have pick 3 and 4. I don't know if we can get there with them. I didn't scout this guy more because I just assume he's generational with a 4.4 140 and several A's. He just looks generational, right? A medium, A pass, A run block, A deep route. That's got to be a generational. Tight end's not our biggest need, but he looks solid. This guy, I can't tell because some of those key ratings are a little iffy, but with a 4.29 40 yard, with an A truck, A stiff arm, A juke, A spin, I have to also assume this is a generational. And I don't know if you let those guys go. And then ironically enough, yet another player that very well could be generational. I have never selected 3 generational players in 1 year, in one draft class. I've done 2 once or twice, but never that. I don't know what the team needs are for these teams. I feel like I can't get all 3 if I trade up for this spot. And they have Darren Waller. He's not that good, though. He's 31 years old. I don't know if they see tight end as a problem, do they? It says they don't. And then let's take a look at the Bengals, see what their tight end situation is like. They might still take him anyways, though. And they're old, but they're good. They don't need a tight end. If Packers don't take him, please don't. No, they took him. Oh, they kind of needed him, but it wasn't their biggest need. I'll tell you what. I didn't really need tight end, but I absolutely don't need running back. But you know what? I'm going to take him anyways. Hidden development trade, 96 speed. That tight end had to be generational, right? A bunch of A's, and that hurts. We're going to take the free safety as well. He's probably going to start at strong, assuming he is anywhere near as good as those ratings suggest. Once again, like I said, could be another generational right here. 93 speed, 93 excel for a safety is kind of crazy. Either that or he's a really high overall star dev, which we see a lot of as well. I could have the tight end. We could have had all 3. We could have had all 3 if the Packers didn't get crazy with it, which they, in fairness, like I said, did need. But still, dude, they could have just been we'll get a tight end next season. Waller's good. But instead, they got Kyle freaking Pitts, basically. I mean, how could I get to pick 1, right? I probably could have, but I didn't, and I regret it wholeheartedly. That is a real pain. I can't lie. That is brutal. Don't really need DT in the slightest, but other than a trade down, what am I supposed to do here? I'm just gonna grab. How good was Parker again? 22, 6'5". I'm gonna grab Parker. Hidden development trade, fair enough. Kind of reminded me a little bit of that Landry guy we missed out on, who ended up being an X factor. So, hey, who knows? That hurts though. That could have been. Maybe 3 generationals, honestly. And once again, we're reaching, but honestly, we're this is the last season. I'm never going to come back to this anyways. Trevor Snell, almost called him Tony Snell. Hidden development trait. It is what it is. I wouldn't say I'm defeated, but it's just I don't really need anyone. I mean, I didn't even need the tight end, but I still I wanted him. I didn't even need him, but I guess he was more needed than any of these players at the least. And then I suppose linebacker is kind of a need because Trenton really hasn't cooked up. Doesn't matter anyways because he's normal, so what does it matter? Gotta take a look at that tight end, though. I mean, he would have been the number 1 for sure. As Darnell's good, but that guy is, he's next level. He is next level. And then the final player, I guess, is Pinkston here with a late 3rd hidden development trait. And then the rest is just trade downs. Call it a draft and see if we can win a Super Bowl year 3 out of, 2 out of 3 years. Here we go. Holy. Yeah, I'm going to guess he's a generational. 84 overall, 99 juke move. This might be the best running back I've ever seen. 86 truck, 88 stiff arm, 99 juke move at 6'1", 232. This is like the closest you get to like Peterson in the game. X Factor, obviously. Let's take a look at this free safety. 81 overall. I'm kind of getting star dev vibes, to be honest, but 84 zone coverage, 73 man. He might actually be generational. We're number 8, looking like Javon Holland. He will be our starting strong safety no matter what. And he is, yep. Like I said, he was giving me star vibes, but he is still, I mean, as you would say, a star dev. He is a star. And then 79 overall for the tight end, Niles Ward. 89 catching, 85 spec out the gate, 90 speed, 87 excel at 6'5" with a 78 short route out the gate. No trucking, which is really disappointing, but one would assume a generational. If he wasn't, that would be really surprising. And yeah, he is. Oh, we could add 2 generationals. He'd have been the starter for sure. Put him at number 87 to make it look a little cooler, but still, obviously, we had a pretty good draft. Didn't really get much for next season, but there is no next season for us, so why would I care? And I'm not really sure what this is going to do, so you know what? Because he's already a generational, I'm going to go with a median impact. I've never really been able to see what a median impact does anyways, and he's already X Factor, so, like, what can he really get better than X Factor? Like, nothing. So I'm kind of curious to see what that is going to be. Let's see. If it's like 2,500 XP or something, that's going to be so stupid. It's got to be at least 5 to 10K. Otherwise, it is just an L to do immediate. 10K, okay, I mean, depending on the player's position, you maybe argue, do you not just stick with that rather than star? You know, it's not easy to get star to superstar running back, so, you know, get a breakout from normal to star, maybe get that 10, 20K XP anyways. It's debatable. It's debatable. But, yeah, I mean, at least 10K is better than what I thought it was going to be. All right, here we are for the final season. I don't know why the hell the right guard just, like, changed, but this is what the team looks like. Everyone should be hit a development trade plus, except for Trenton Simpson. I keep forgetting about him, but it's a 6 squad. It could have been even better if we had that generational tight end, but you know what? That is what it is. Wait, Jack Campbell's a superstar before Trenton even gets to star. Wow, what an L. Or win if you're Jack Campbell, I guess. Having a pretty good season while the division is selling. We don't technically need Bijan, but I still want him anyway. 7-year, 73. Hey, you're kind of walking yourself into potentially being replaced by an X Factor running back that has an even higher ceiling than you. You might wanna chill out a little bit, realize the sitch, you know. But here we are with Paris again. See if he's like, I don't like it because, bro, it's a 7-year. This game's so good, dude. I really hope Madden 24 is exactly like this because it is a flawless game and you can't improve upon it. Trenton, even though he's normal, is still a very good overall, and that contract with that age is just busted. Whereas Jack Campbell, a little bit older, a little bit more costly, maybe debated a little bit more, but he ends up taking the pretty fair contract, so we give it to him, and everyone else seems to kind of be a backup. Moody probably sticks around because, you know, unless we find a rookie wide receiver or kicker in the draft, there's really not much that can be done to improve at that position. And then obviously JSN, he's all right, but unless he has an insane season, which I don't know if he is or not, I'd probably just use Rudolph. We don't really need a 3 anyways, and you know, even though we don't, we still have one. And yeah, I mean, that's past midpoint. That's really bad. And we're 14-3 with the bye week. Once again, stuck it out with the same scheme, the Chiefs defense, Jaguars offense, I believe, throughout this rebuild. So there's that. And you can see pretty good numbers, obviously. Let's take a look at the season stats and see if this is going to be the magical year or all of our super talent and potential is going to be wasted. A little bit better of a season from Bryce Young, it seems, but still pretty mid. Maybe look at the rushing. In fairness, it's a pretty good season, and if you put all those rushing touchdowns, like the 36 maybe that there are there, into the quarterback, it looks a lot better. But Bijan was killer. Quentin was solid, and Jordan Addison was pretty solid, Darnell Washington was pretty solid, and then JSN had his worst season yet. O-line was pretty solid, all things considered. Will Anderson, 23 sacks, 16 for Carter, 15.5 for Kitchens. Brazil with 11.5. Ridiculous season. A couple of interceptions. Moody was okay. Punting was decent. Kick return, punt return game, no touchdown this season. And then looking at the yearly awards, Stroud, the quote-unquote rival of Bryce Young, if you will, gets MVP. Bijan with Offensive Player of the Year. Rookie of the Year goes to Fuller, who had a bunch of touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, number 1 for quarterback. Bryce at number 5. Bijan at number 1 running back. Where did he finish as... Not on the list. I thought maybe the touchdowns would have carried him enough, but obviously not. Number 3 and number 8 for wide receivers. O-line at number 8. D-line at number 2. Myles Garrett beat him. Carter and Kitchens at 5 and 6. And Brazil not on the list, sadly. Linebacker not on the list from what I could see. Cornerback number 7. And then kicker, I mean, he missed a bunch of kicks. Could still make it. Yeah, number 9. But the 9th best kicker on a conference is not that great, believe it or not. But no wild card round, straight to the divisional. See if we can go to 3 straight Super Bowls, but see if we can actually win it this time. 91 overall for us, 84 for the Bengals. Let's see if we can become a dynasty. Going to the end of the game, 0-0. Once again, the state of our team is basically defense, right? So if the offense can put up like 24 points, we usually can win the game. 17-10, 20-10. What a better year than we are now. 27-10. And they put up 24 plus. I mean, don't even need 24 in this one, as we're into the championship round with only giving up 10 points to the Bengals, who, once again, it's a pretty good scheme set. Jared Goff's an okay quarterback. Still, Bryce Young hasn't been very good. He's been pretty inconsistent and not super dependable. Brazil and Will Anderson with sacks. I mean, we gave up 2 interceptions to Desmond King. Witherspoon with a pick, and then kicking was perfect for once. Usually we see like multiple missed kicks. Championship round, let's do it. What do we got? Who is it? It is the Dolphins. They're actually a really high overall, 89 overall. Joey Bosa, Kyle Pitts, and Lamar Jackson. We've seen this team before, obviously. All right, going to the end of the game. 0-0, 7-0, still 7-0, 10-0. This is kind of how we lost the Super Bowl, 7-10. Now leading by 4. Good resilience. Once again, offense locking up, or defense locking up. 21-10. Miami coming back with a field goal. One more score should do it. They missed the 2-point. Well, they need the 2-point, and because of that missed 2-point, we're going to win. We're going to go back to the Super Bowl. That's how we won the Super Bowl the first time. It wasn't really, this one. They didn't miss the extra point, but, long story short, had a 2-point conversion chance to tie it. Couldn't do it. And usually you see those converted. Of course, Bryce Young outperforming Lamar. Bijan was pretty damn good. Quentin always does his thing. Will Anderson a little bit better than last week. Picks for Shaquille Griffin and then Gonzalez. Both kind of similar-ish players, if you will. Kind of fast, decent coverage, mid-level. But obviously Gonzalez has plenty more potential. Can still develop. Super Bowl time is going to be the Falcons yet again. It is not. It's going to be the Vikings, who didn't we beat them to win our first Super Bowl? It could happen again. Just saying, they're 13-4. They're a lot lower of an overall than us. Take a look at the dev-ups if we had any, and it does not appear to be, on offense at least. Defensively, Kitchens is still superstar. I think Gonzalez, was he superstar already, or did he just go up? He did just go up, but that was the only dev-up. Little lackluster, to be honest. Still no dev up for Kitchens. I don't know how that's even possible, but it is. And Bijan is finally being developed as a power back, which is fantastic. Also wearing number 14, which is questionable, but who really cares? I don't really care about the number, to be honest. But here we go. Let's do it. Mahomes and company for the Vikings. 3-0, 7-3. Trying to get their revenge. 7-6, 14-6. They go for the extra point, and they're up by 6 now, halftime. His defense giving up a lot more than they normally would, 28-20. One more score could do it. Instead, they go for it. They do not get the 2 points. There's no way they're going to lose on a 2-point again. A 2-point failure, if you will. 3rd and 17, 4th and 10. I'm coming in. This is the game. You don't get this. This is the game. I mean, I feel like you have to blitz, right? It's risk. Where the hell is the coverage, though? I get we're blitzing, but, it's a little risky. We're going crazy out here. And he throws it right in behind. There's not really much can be done. And, of course, the guy's going to break 4,000 tackles on top of it. Definitely should not have come in, but then again, he made easy work of that. And inside, good teamwork tackle of the 34. It's still far from guaranteed where they're at. Come with another blitz, try to get a sack. Not going to happen probably, though, because it's Mahomes. There's nobody on him. Honestly, you just give up the touchdown. This game is good. You can argue he went purposely. No, he didn't. This game is so bad that it was a freebie give up from us, and the AI still couldn't run it in. The AI ran out of bounds because they couldn't run the tightrope when there was nobody pressuring them. This is going to be another Super Bowl loss. And that is a massive hit. They're calling a timeout. I'm not really sure they understand the true situation here. The situation is we are screwed. Down by 2. The field goal will give them the lead. Brents can't get in, and this team is going to be the ultimate how the hell did they not do more team. I mean, this is like Buffalo, really. We're Bills in it. At least we got one, I suppose. Sorry, Bills fans. I mean, Darnell's literally the only guy open. He's going to at least set up the Hail Mary. I wanted to get a field goal chance, but at least we'll get the Hail Mary shot. Quentin Johnston, I mean, can I move him in a little bit? I don't really like that he's so far away. I don't know if he's going to get there. Hell, I don't even know if this line's going to give us a chance. And right now, it literally will not. Thank you. It literally won't let me hike it. Hello? Bro, EA's got to stop making games. Holy crap. And that ball is a little up there. Nobody's even going to get back there. This game sucks. Tipped right to his hand, and he couldn't catch it. Lovely. Tight end. Right to the tight end's hands, and he just drops it. Like it was literally gift wrapped. We've seen this how many times in NFL history where everyone's trying to knock it down, and then, oh, I can't catch it. You'd have to be the worst player of all time. Like, you legitimately would have to be, like, Greg Little. Like, I don't even know. But what was that box score? 9 unanswered in the fourth quarter. We actually had a really good third and choked it in the fourth. 3 Super Bowl trips, 1 win. That is disappointing, to say the least. But that is going to be it for this one. A lot of sacks, just couldn't capitalize. Simply put, just couldn't capitalize. I got to say, a lot probably does have to do with Bryce Young. He's just so inconsistent. Not really dependable. But you know what? That is going to be it. Like I said, 3 Super Bowls, 1 actual win. We had the bye week and everything. 34-10. Not a great game in the championship. And then Super Bowl lost by 1. They got their revenge. The failed 2-point conversion revenge. They ended up doing enough to get back out there to get a field goal for the failed 2-point, which lost them the first Super Bowl in the beginning. Kind of the perfect story if you're rooting for them. Bryce Young, let's take a look at the numbers. Very accurate, just for some reason they don't like the build. 41 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. But with his ratings, we've seen a lot better than that, right? Like, it's obviously not bad to be great season in real life, but in Madden Sim, we've seen better than that. Speaking of seeing better than that, Bijan's already, like that Fuller guy as a rookie, already better than Bijan. Like, literally better. Better juke move, better trucking, faster. Literally has him beat on everything. Quentin Johnson release sucks, which, as a bigger, slow guy, that is something you cannot suck at. Let's take a look at Jordan Addison. He was kind of, will he get 1,000? Will he not? Pretty mid-level. Kind of reminding me of like a Greg Jennings, really. And then looking at JSN, he had a really bad season last season, but overall, he's okay as a complimentary number 3. Let's take a look at Mr. Darnell Washington, who sold hard by dropping that catch in the game ender there with the Hail Mary. Darnell already worse than the other guy, basically. Oh, man, who knows if that other guy's there. Maybe we win because he would have been more fast, and maybe he gets to like the 45 or so on that slant that we ran there. You never know. I mean, there was 3 seconds left. We had time to get a little bit deeper. It's just Darnell was too slow to do that. Paris Johnson, not a great finesse blocker, which didn't really seem to slow him down as he had a really good season blocking. Skoronski, I suppose. I don't really care about the other rookies, but the real-life rookies I'm going to look at. Skoronski, another bad finesse blocker. He's okay at it, but very good at power blocking, which I suppose is an interior. If you're going to be bad at one, you'd prefer it to be the finesse. And then Broderick Jones, good finesse blocker as a tackle. So it actually, for once, kind of worked out based on archetype. Let's take a look at Jack Campbell, who, is this not who I've been starting this whole time? Oh, they've been making him a pass rusher, have they? Nice. Okay, I guess. Pass rusher. Sure. But Drummond, he's like an 80 overall. He really didn't develop either. Linebackers were bad. I wonder if that was the reason why we were just like kind of iffy. The linebackers in this one really weren't great. They just weren't. Trenton Simpson, he's actually pretty decent. Just once again, that dev is just so bad. Looking at the defense, Campbell only being an 80 overall is something. Newton, the X Factor, 91 zone already. Okay, so usually corners to safety doesn't really work out for me. This one it absolutely did. This one it worked out. It was worth it. Gonzalez, very solid player. He only got that zone coverage up because of a camp standout. Otherwise, he would have been like 74 zone, which is really, really bad. Strickland, we just got him, but 84 overall already. Started as an 81. 88 zone coverage. His safety duo is filthy. Let's take a look at Mr. Witherspoon, who's a 91 overall X Factor. He developed himself pretty nicely. Man, zone coverage, like Gonzalez would have been if it wasn't for the standout. 95 man, though, very fast. Obviously, the archetype's going to be like that across the league, not just, our team. And I feel like a lot of people don't really realize that or just forget that when they, see those. Ringo, totally worth the long-term contract, fast with 87 man, and he's still really young. Brazil, even though he's played pretty well the last few seasons, still only star dev, but very good block shedder, somehow getting a lot of sacks, even with low power move. And then we have Jalen Carter, who finally kind of broke out the last 2 seasons, specifically this latest one. Another block shedder with no power move, but, they prioritize the block shed, which is supposed for interior. It's not the worst, right? You want some pass rush for that 4-3 DT spot, but, you have that edge that's insane. Kitchens and Will Anderson combined for nearly 40 last season, which is ridiculous. But Will Anderson really cooked up ever since the start of this. Block shed's a little low, but the finesse is basically maxed. Very fast as well. And as far as kicker punter goes, I guess we'll look because Behringer actually went up really high. 97 kick power. I believe he started with a 93. And then Moody, we got him at 92, even though I believe he's 94 in Madden 24. And finished with 94. Yeah, okay, so not bad. Pretty much what his base ratings are for next game, basically. But that's going to be it for this one. If you have a challenge that, I wouldn't say similar to this, but just a really tough challenge that you think would be really hard to do, let me know because I am curious to do more rebuild challenges. This one, I thought it was going to be a good one, but I had no idea EA's trade logic was that bad and that we would be getting like superstars and X Factors for like 29-year-old normal dev 72 overall backups. I didn't know that was going to happen, but still, it was fun to finally do a little bit more of a fantasy style, if you will, and also actually get to the Super Bowl consistently. We didn't win that many. We were 1 for 2, 1 and 2, 1 for 3, technically 1 and 2. But we still ended up making one with the win, and we got to see 2 others. So if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Texans are so bad, by the way. Weren't they like 11-6 the season before, or maybe the year before that? I don't know. If you're not new, really appreciate continued support. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PK plays for non-Madden content. I would say that I would do another series or start another series after, Madden 24's chilled out a bit, which could be a little while, I'll admit. But, that's... second channel's a little bit in the back burners at the moment, especially since those series do take a long time to record. And, it spans multiple episodes. But regardless, there's still a lot of content on there that maybe you haven't seen already. But that's about it. We'll be back on Tuesday with probably more Miners franchise. If you haven't checked out any of the videos from earlier today, or the video from earlier today, or the videos yesterday, maybe check them out. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.